All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the It's a World Out There podcast with myself, Tyler, Dallas, and Carter, as you know. This is going to be not the last one, hopefully, but probably the last one for a while, because at the time we're recording this, it's 11:51 p.m., and
I leave in several hours for...
is leaving on a 16-hour drive
3
in
a.m.
about 4 hours.
Yeah. That's
to go to college, and I'll be following him in less than a week's time, leaving Carter.
Yeah, and I won't,
in Arizona.
and I'll just be sad.
Poor man.
Yeah. So for this last episode, the idea that we just decided 5 seconds ago is we're just going to talk about how our friendship came to be, and then just some of the major pinpoints of our past high school times that we've spent with each other as being close friends and getting closer friends.
Yeah. Basically, for this one, in the last episode we talked about, everything having to do with the future, and this one's just going to be all about the past.
Yep.
So.
This is going to be like a rabbit hole episode. I don't see us staying on topic, and we don't plan on staying on topic.
Most of what we're going to talk about won't apply or make sense
to most
of the people listening,
but it'll be entertaining.
But it might be entertaining.
Yeah.
So, and this episode, last episode and this episode, more than the other ones are specifically just for us to
look back
on and remember what
used to be
and what we were in high school. So, first let's just say briefly when and how we all became friends. I think first we need to start with me and Carter, because
birth.
Yeah. Me and Carter have lived on the same street as each other since I was 2 years old and he was like 1.5 or so.
Yeah.
So for the past, 16 years, Carter and I and our families have lived on the same street, and we have been best friends that whole time. At times we were closer than other times, but throughout almost all of those 16 years, we were pretty close friends. And yeah, that's just been how that has gone. Our families have been really close, basically like
the
Carter's
entire time. Yeah.
Carter's parents might as well just be my second parents.
Yeah, whenever Tyler has curfew, my parents are like, yeah, just go home when Tyler goes home.
Mm-hmm.
It's worked like that the entire time.
Whatever me and Carter do is just based on our parents basically co-parent us.
Yeah.
It's worked like that the entirety of our existence. So yeah, that's just been, I don't remember a time that I didn't know Carter.
Yeah.
Is basically how it goes. But for Dallas, it's different.
Yeah. We still met pretty early, though.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
I met a lot later than Tyler met Dallas.
Yeah, I met Dallas.
We were in,
fourth grade.
Fourth grade?
So, me and Carter both have moved once. We lived in a neighborhood across basically across the main road, like the neighborhood over from the one that we live in now.
Yeah.
And so
just about a mile away.
Yeah, we went to different elementary schools, different, not different churches, different, for those that understand, different wards in our church. So same church, but not with the same group of people that go at a specific time. So I didn't know Dallas because he was in a different ward, to say.
Mm-hmm.
And until I moved when I was, I believe, 10 or 11.
Something like that, yeah.
Did you guys meet at school? Or
Yeah, I was at school.
Mm-hmm. And so we became friends in fourth grade. I think probably, we weren't in the same class.
I think we were at least once.
No, we never were.
Really?
Mm-mm. Fourth grade, I was in Miss Mirea's class. You were in Mr. Garcia's class. Fifth grade, I was in Mr. Young's class. You were in, I don't know.
I was in Young.
You were?
I think so.
I don't think so.
I don't have anything
Bro,
to say.
I think I was.
I don't remember that. And then sixth grade, I was in Miss Whiffin's class.
Yeah.
Were you in Miss Whitman's class?
I don't remember you being in Miss Whitman's class,
That's
but
the
I
only
was.
I was
class-
for sure
Yeah.
in Miss Whitman's class.
So I didn't go to Patterson, but that's the only teacher that I actually met.
Mm-hmm.
She
Miss
was-
Whitman was cool.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
was.
she
chill.
was cool.
Yeah, I have very little memories.
I
of
have like
elementary school.
one memory of us being in, like talking like in the same class. That's it. Like in terms of like class time, it was like I think it was me, you, our friend going up to college with us. I think someone else.
I don't remember. I only have like 2 clear memories
Yeah.
of elementary school. Neither of them involved you,
Yeah.
and most of them didn't involve other students. It was just something that happened.
Yeah.
Um,
But I mean, nonetheless.
we
It's
still
been-
hung out at recess.
Yeah.
Didn't you punch someone?
What?
Didn't you punch someone in elementary school?
It sounds right. I don't know. I did a lot.
Bruh.
Listen, disclaimer. I was very not smart.
Yeah,
when I
this-
was
this
a small.
kid- this
it took
was the
me until a
kid-
double-digit age to become slightly intelligent.
So so Tyler was the kid that my parents were like, I swear, if you're like that, we'll freaking beat you.
Yeah, I was not a good child. Third grade, I lost a race to somebody, and the next day I called him the B word in third grade, and so I was not particularly smart. But most of my memories, like we would hang out at recess, like we'd all play Foursquare.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we'd like go play football with all like the football kids, the like popular kids that would always play football, like
Yeah, I remember that.
you know.
Played a lot of basketball too.
Yeah, we did play basketball.
Yeah.
Played a lot of speed.
Oh yeah.
So,
Dude,
what
I
was like
remember
the main sport at your elementary school during recess? Like, what was the thing to do?
There was always things happening.
Yeah, there
was
were.
always a big group playing Foursquare, big group playing basketball, big group
playing
on the swings,
football, yeah,
big
swings.
group playing football. And then there were people just sitting around too.
Yeah.
I was always one of the soccer kids at my school. Literally,
There wasn't
We
really
didn't really
Every
have soccer going
It
on.
was
Yeah.
mostly just football in the
at
field.
my school,
Yeah.
soccer was the thing, and it was so fun.
Yeah, at Brinton, at Brinton, the elementary school I went to before, the main thing that we did was because that school was like prison.
Yeah,
it
it
was.
was-
It was a little bit. It was on a county island, so it was a little bit,
Yeah.
different. It was like interesting. Um, and so the main thing that we did was this thing called backstop.
Oh, I remember that game.
I've never heard of
And
it.
It's basically it's probably the most brain dead sport. It's perfect for children in elementary school.
Yeah, for
Because all it is you need the big like chain link like cage that is like for baseball, like
Uh-huh.
around the diamond, the
Yeah.
home plate. And it's like kickball, but instead of it being kickball, it's like 1v1 and you're just kicking it off of the fence with another kid. And that's it.
Is it similar to wall ball?
Yeah,
Or with the
it's
s-
kind of like
with
wall
the-
ball, but with the chain link fence and a soccer ball that's slightly deflated.
Huh.
And sometimes you'd end up getting kicked with the ball in the face
Yeah.
if it bounced off one of the poles and came in a weird direction.
I can imagine that probably not feel very good.
And there was just a line of kids standing around.
think-
It was like Fight Club. There was just a line of kids standing around the other side of the fence, just like hovering and watching, waiting for someone to get absolutely murdered by a soccer ball.
That's probably why they were watching.
Exactly.
They weren't.
That
They, were,
is
they
why
weren't there for a
watching.
turn. They were waiting for.
They were wanting to see bloodshed.
Dude, yeah.
That's
They were there
how-
for some
third grade
entertainment.
was rough times.
They
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
crap to happen.
Dude, kids are
Mhm.
ruthless.
Man, it was yeah. And so Dallas and I became friends, and we were in the same grade, and we had more friends in the same grade, and we all kind of became one unified friend group for a while. Towards the end, probably of elementary school, and then junior high was weird.
Yeah, it changed up a little bit throughout like junior high and the first bit of high school, but we all came back.
I'd say around junior high. I'd say towards like the end of 8th grade, and the beginning of freshman year, was when
like the
we
downfall,
When we
or when
really
you were the
started hanging out.
strongest. Okay, yeah.
That's
I think
freshman year was when we really started like hanging out a lot.
I think that's fair. And then like sophomore and junior, we didn't really hang out at all. Like as a big group most of the time, I feel like.
I'm just talking about you and me.
Oh, facts.
It's because we were both
Yeah.
talking to girls who were best friends.
Yes.
And so we naturally became best friends.
Yeah.
We were already friends, but
Yeah.
we really
got
became friends.
very
because of that.
close. Yeah.
I met Dallas like after Tyler moved. How long were you in your new house? Like 6 months, and then I moved.
It was less than a year before you moved onto the same street again.
Yeah.
I feel like I met you still pretty early.
It
like
wasn't super long.
We
Yeah.
weren't like really good friends, but I have like
Yeah.
a clear memory
'Cause
of us being over at someone's house.
I wasn't in the group.
And
I
then-
introduced Carter to
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
of the group.
I remember
like
that.
the guys in the group.
Me
a
being
long
in a
time ago.
different elementary school just made it hard for me to like
and
be in the
you were a
group.
year like behind, so
Yeah.
like you weren't always in the same.
Everything was stacked up against me.
It was always like offset. So, I think. I remember, there was a while. I think it was during freshman year, that where or no, it was during sophomore year, I believe. Because me and Dallas spent most of freshman year just hanging out with like
Yeah.
those girls.
Yeah.
And so I was hanging out with Carter way less.
My freshman year is when I literally just dipped out of like everything social in that
Yeah.
group.
Yeah.
That was when
that is
social
when you
true.
went to
Yeah, that was when I
'cause
went
Carter,
to my
Carter
new
went to a
school.
different
high school.
high school for his freshman year.
And literally like I didn't talk to like anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Not simply just because like I'm like, yeah, screw them. It was more of
It
just
just
like
it just didn't.
it kind of just I was at
That's
a
just
different
how it
school.
worked
Stuff
out,
happened.
yeah.
School
Yeah.
happened. We were all freshmen,
And I
we
was
were
literally
sophomores.
just struggling like, I'm just
Yeah.
going to get
And
through
then
this.
our sophomore year, I think, it was towards the beginning, I think, because it's been a long time. I was because me and Dallas and our other friend Cade would hang out a lot.
Yeah.
And we just play video games all the time.
Yeah.
And me and Dallas got to talking one day because we had already all known Carter at this point, and he's hung out with us three a few times.
Yeah.
And then Dallas was like, I don't remember it specifically, but I feel like I remember like vaguely Dallas saying, "Dude, we should hang out with Carter more often. Like we should ask Carter to come hang out with us."
Were
And I
we
was like,
"That's so
longboarding
when I
I think so, actually.
I think I remember that. I remember
There
where
was,
we
there
were
was a conversation where you and me had.
too.
And we talked about,
I literally remember us coming. We were going towards one of the main roads. And I had a thought. I was like, it'd be cool if we had like we should hang out with Carter more.
Yeah, and
I told that to you, and I think you told me you had like similar feelings as well.
Yeah, because
I
had
remember
thought about
saying
it
something
before.
to Tyler.
Yeah, Carter had said something to me.
We went on a
few
Labor
weeks
Day
before.
camp out, and
Mhm.
we were like riding 4-wheelers and stuff. And me and Tyler were sitting there. I'm like, "Yo, dog, this is super like awkward and just cringe." But I'm like, "Yo,
I remember this.
can I hang out with you guys?
Yeah,
I just don't
and
have any friends."
I had thought about it too because I was like, man, I really haven't been hanging out with Carter that much because it was like my dad or somebody had mentioned it to me and like, you haven't really been hanging out with Carter as much recently. And I was like, yeah, I know. I kind of want to hang out with him again. And then
That was the turnaround.
Carter at that camp out asked me about that, and then very soon, either before or after, I had that conversation with Dallas, and we
Yeah.
were like, all right, let's do it. And
yeah.
so then
Run it.
us four hung out all the time.
Yeah, we came really close.
Yeah.
We were all very close to each other.
We're all still really close.
Still
yeah, we
that
are.
way.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we just stayed that way since then.
Yeah.
And then in this last year, schedules have changed, and because of work and because of school and because of just other reasons, us three more so kind of came a lot more close,
Mm-hmm.
and we would do stuff together all the time.
Yeah.
And so us three have really been really close for going
A while
strong
now.
3 years,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've known Carter for my entire life, and I've known Dallas for probably 7 years.
I think longer. I think 8.
Yeah. How old were we in fourth grade?
grade.
I think it's 10 and 11.
Is it?
I think so. 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, something like that.
Long time.
It's been a long time. That's almost half the life.
Yeah, it's almost half of my life.
Yeah.
Which isn't very long, but
Yeah.
when it's half
For what it
Yeah,
is,
for-
that's
yeah, for
that's
how
yeah.
long you been here.
Yeah.
So that's just
That
where
was
it all
chapter
started.
1, the beginning.
That was how the lads came to be.
And now that's how it is.
Yeah.
So now kind of what we were thinking we could do is just talk about like
highlights
Like
of the boys.
share memories.
the highlights.
Just the highlights.
We're just going to go through a highlight reel real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go down
This-
memory lane.
And if any of you have watched the Jordan documentary, the Bulls documentary,
Oh yes.
and how it's the Last Dance documentary, this is our last dance.
This is the last dance for, because we're gonna be gone for a while.
Because this night is the last night that all three of us will be together in the same room for quite a long time.
Almost
Yeah.
4 months.
Yeah. So this
Until
is our
I
last
forget
dance.
Arizona. I just move up there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless Carter decides to drop out of high school.
I mean, it's all online.
It's-
I can
It's
do
going
whatever I
back
want.
though soon.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know if I burn down. I mean,
Well, arson
it'll go back.
is illegal, but only
It-
if you get caught, in the words of one of our smart friends.
You know what? Editor, edit that out. We don't-
I'm the editor, Dallas.
So yeah, let's just take turns maybe. Go
Yeah,
around.
we could just. Yeah.
Dallas,
talk
give
about
me a highlight.
Give me a highlight. All right. When was it that we went to the volleyball tournament?
Wasn't that like?
Was it last
that
year?
was-
It was last. It
that- I
was
think-
junior year.
It was.
That was junior year.
It was
Because-
our junior year, Carter's sophomore.
Yes. So
That was so high.
for those that don't know, I played volleyball all throughout high school.
That was Dallas's sport.
That was my sport.
He's actually a pro.
That was my thing.
Professional volleyball player.
And I remember junior year that that was the first year that I was on varsity, and I was like interested in like the brackets and how schools would go up against each other. And our team lost relatively quick, I think in the first or second round. But I knew that the finals were coming up between, well, there were four
championship
teams.
game.
Yeah, the championship game. And there were 4 schools, and there were 2 of them that I thought for sure were going to be the ones competing. And surprising that I found out was that both of those schools lost.
Yeah.
And it was a different 2 schools in the final. And I was really excited because I thought the ones I had in mind were
like-
easily the best.
Yeah.
So I hit up the boys.
It became very interesting.
So we ended up going.
Keep in mind, myself at least, I can speak for myself and Cade. We didn't know anything about what was going on. I
Yeah.
didn't pay attention to anything going on with the volleyball or like I'm into sports, but I wasn't paying attention to like what was happening. So I
Yeah.
didn't really know anything about like how good the teams were
Yeah.
or like who was playing. I don't know if Carter did or not.
I didn't know anything.
So none of
about
us
it.
knew anything about it, and Dallas
I-
proposes to us. He says, "Boys, what if we go to the state championship volleyball game?"
Could we
I
hide?
know that I was just like, whatever. Like,
I
what
was
else
like,
am
I got
gonna
nothing better to do.
Yeah, exactly. It's a
That's
Monday.
That's a $5.
It's a
we're
Monday.
spending.
I'm Scotch. Tape.
Yeah.
so dang clear.
So we go to this this final tournament, and it is packed.
Oh, it's so packed.
It's roaring. There's so
Mhm.
many people in there.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
You know,
Oh,
we
yeah. We need to add that our voices before we started were already strained.
This is true.
We were
'cause
singing "Grace Kelly" by Mika.
Oh,
That
yeah.
song is very
this
Quality
was,
song.
This was years ago, so our voices were a little bit more prone to not being very
yeah,
like.
it's-
We were a little bit more tone deaf, a little bit more squeaky.
yeah. Our voices weren't as defined. So let's just
But
leave
we
it at
were-
that.
we-
Dallas was
that
the
song.
only driver out of us
Yeah.
at the time, and so he was
Yeah.
driving us, and he is fresh off.
I was the designated driver.
fresh off the wheel.
Yeah.
And boy, did we just
Jam.
belt
Oh, we had
the
a
high
party.
notes.
Every song.
Every song. On the
Especially
way
that
there.
song.
and it
Oh,
was
you
on a
you already
short
know
drive.
we hit all of them.
Every
We did
note
not.
nailed to perfection.
And it was a long drive.
It
So,
was. Yeah, it was what 20-25 minutes.
Yeah, maybe
Something like that,
pushing
yeah.
half an hour.
It
maybe.
was it was pretty far, especially
So-
for like how new of a driver I was.
Yeah, for half an hour in Dallas's CRV,
Oh yeah.
we were a men's quartet,
Oh yeah.
and it was not good. But
No, we were
boy,
S-
did
we
we
were
sing.
S2.
We had fun doing it though. I will say that.
We
we
still
get-
do it to this day.
Yeah, well,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Doesn't mean it's still not good.
It's
but-
better, but it's not great.
It's not great. It's a work in progress.
We're working on it. Not really, but
No,
we try.
yeah.
It's
So
a
we-
World Out podcast. Or it's a World Out There quartet coming out
Yeah.
next year.
Nice. So yeah.
Yeah, so we get to this school, the high school that's being hosted, and we walk in. Basically, every single seat is taken. So we walk up on just
noses
one of the
were
high
bleeding.
school sides. We weren't going for any specific high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
We were
I
just
didn't know
like,
anything about either of
this one looks pretty good.
And there's
We
more
were in,
seats
like,
on
the
this
nose-
side.
Yeah, there
We
are
had
more
to be in the
seats.
back.
Yeah, our
corner.
noses were bleeding.
Yeah, so we got some nosebleed seats. But we were able to stand up. And we had a decent view.
Yeah.
And I
I
remember
did
like
especially.
the game starts, and both these teams, like, they were nervous at first, and they weren't playing like fantastic, but it was still better than my team could play. Like they were pretty good. And I remember they went point for point in like the first set, and the crowd was like going crazy. And I remember I was on my phone texting my mom because she was running late. I was like, oh, the score is 16-15. No, it's tied right now. Yeah, and we just randomly, what school was it? We just randomly picked a school and said,
Yeah.
okay, we're going for this school.
I still have the ticket stub, but I forgot what
I
they
do as
were.
well, yeah.
I don't remember.
But
what
I
schools
remember
it
like
was.
until the second half, like I was kind of just like watching off and on, like talking with Cade
Yeah.
and just kind of
So
doing whatever.
I don't know if this is true, but this is how I remember it. The first half, me and Dallas were getting into it. Because
Yeah.
I was like I'm into sports pretty, so I like get like
Getting
I play
into it pretty
basketball,
nuts,
so I
yeah.
like teen sports. I can get behind that. I can get hyped about stuff like that. Like I play basketball, watch a lot of basketball games, went on a lot of like trips for basketball games.
Yeah.
And Carter and Cade is not a sportsman.
Yeah.
And so Cade and Carter were just like talking about whatever Cade was talking or whatever. It was just they were talking.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
They were,
yeah,
in,
towards
they were
like
into
the,
the game.
end of the first half, I got like.
But then the second
hyped.
half comes
Oof.
around. And
Oof.
this never before or since have I seen this man Cade actually start to be invested into a sports event that is not disc golf.
That is how hype it was, dude. The energy
It was
in that room,
screaming. Like
sta-
every
it was
point
crazy.
just- and
Wow.
okay, what adds to every team sport? If your school doesn't have school spirit, it's so lame.
So the high
Oh,
school
yeah,
that me
it
and Carter
is.
went to
oh my
had
gosh.
absolutely zero school spirit.
Zero.
Mine had a decent amount, but like
Yeah.
looking at other schools, we could have done better.
Ours
Yeah.
was one of the worst.
Yeah,
in
I
the
would go
district.
to like
Yeah.
our football games and I'd be like
the
excited.
basketball games. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, but
Except for that one time that they got in a fight.
oh, that is.
Well, that wasn't even at
Were
our
you there
school.
for that,
Yeah, I
Carter?
know.
It wasn't even. It was in a
No,
school
but
so
everyone
far
saw
away.
the video.
Yeah.
It was on the
Oh,
news.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, the
First in state
the,
last year, by the way.
the student sections of both sides
Crazy.
at that game were absolutely wild.
It was mad.
Yeah, do you know how there's like the bars, or not the bars, but like there's railing in front of them? The entire time, I just felt like it's just gonna collapse.
It was gonna.
and
the-
half the children are just gonna fall
Yeah.
into the volleyball
The bleachers
floor.
were gonna collapse.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It
Yeah.
was
And what was crazy was both the teams were really good.
Yeah.
And they were really evenly matched. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't a
It was
blowout where they
not-
won.
It was a close game. the
It was
whole
very.
time.
And for
They
those
went
who
to,
don't
like,
know,
double
yeah.
overtime.
So basically, how it works is it's out of 5. So if you're able to win 3 sets, then you take the whole thing. And this school, they went one team won, and then the other one won, and then the other
went
team
back
won,
and
and they
forth
just went
sets.
back and forth, and then finally we get to set 5. And each set it goes up to 25 points, but for set 5, it goes up to
15.
I think it's 15.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. It's been a while, but
I believe
it's like
15.
cut in
Something
half.
like that.
So, and
Win
these
by 2,
teams,
right?
yeah. You have to
Yeah.
win by 2, and we had just randomly picked a team, but we were ride
You
or
were
die
rooting
for
for
this
that
team.
team, man.
Yeah.
I remember, weren't the colors like one team was blue and the other one was like tan or something like that?
Something like that,
I
yeah.
think I picked blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were like, let's go blue.
Let's go blue. Yeah.
We die with this color.
Yeah.
Ride or die blue.
This is
And
our
this-
school now.
This
We go to
yeah,
this school.
we go
I've
here.
just enrolled.
Yeah. Mentally. But yeah, so we're sitting there watching these teams go back and forth, and the crowd is going wild.
Oh, it was so
And
loud.
the energy was crazy, and all of us are just
All
like
on our feet.
so into it. And that
It
was
was
like
better
one of the
than any
most like
professional sport
fun
I've seen.
times ever I've had at a sports
I don't
event.
even remember who won the game.
Our team
Our
won. the
team
game.
won.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what
sick.
made it even better.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
they went back and forth, and like I said, it counts off at 15. We have to win by 2. So they were 15,
And they were-
14, and
they were
15,
like
15.
one
Didn't
point.
they go over like to like 23 or
They went
something?
high.
They went far. They were 1 point away from each other basically the entire time for every set.
They
the whole
went
time,
yeah,
basically.
they were point for point, and in the last set, they just kept going
Mhm.
until our team
Finally
pulled
got it.
through,
Pulled out.
Punched it in.
put them out of
Yes.
misery.
Man, what a time!
What a time
That was so long ago too.
And then we
it
tried
was.
singing
I
the
really
same
wish
song.
we could have gone to the
the one
our year, but
Yeah.
you know, COVID ruined that. So
Feels bad.
Yeah, so sad. All right, well that's definitely a highlight. Just with the 4 boys, man, it still blows my mind that Kate actually got invested into a sport event.
I thought it was awesome.
It was
Mhm.
great.
I loved it.
It was a sight to see.
Yeah,
Alright.
that was awesome.
Carter gave me a highlight.
This last year, me, Tyler, and Dallas,
This might be the biggest highlight.
this
Yeah.
this literally never forget. It's not ruined, but it's dampened every one of my family trips to Idaho.
We've
They're going
named
forward.
our group chat after this trip.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so how it all began is I was talking to my parents, or I was talking with the boys. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
we need to go on a senior trip because they're seniors.
We were seniors. At
I'm
the
not a
time.
senior, but I'm like,
It was like
forget
the
it. I'm gonna
beginning
go.
of our
I'm gonna
senior
do
year.
whatever they do just because I'm one of them, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
One of the boys.
we were gonna go to California originally and do like Knott's Farm on the beach.
Like
Mhm.
just us, like no parents,
Yeah, no parents,
nobody, just
no
like
any-
us.
Yeah, just
us
senior
three
trip with the boys.
driving out to
Just-
California. First time any of us have ever done that sort of thing.
Yeah.
We were trying to figure out whose car would actually make it. It was
None of
funny.
ours would.
No.
We
No.
knew it in our hearts, but
And so I was talking to my parents, and like I was so dead set on California. I'm like, California, California. I love California.
yeah, because we wanted to go to the beach. We wanted to go to Knott's Berry
we
Farm.
priced it out like so expensive.
We had like
Yeah.
a hotel picked or like a
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Airbnb,
planned a lot of
Airbnb
it.
picked out.
Yeah.
It was so expensive, and then my parents were like, "You guys should just go up to Idaho." And so I have family up in Idaho, and like they have like a house up there, and they also have like a river house in the place called Mackey. And they're like, "You should go to Mackey and do stuff up there." I'm like, I don't know. I was so dead set on California, and I don't know what made me sway, but I'm like, do it. I'm with the boys. Whatever we do, it doesn't matter. It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah.
And from that day, we kind of just chose, we're going to Idaho. This is happening. And the plan was that we were going to go up. We were going to go to Mackey and 4-wheel and just do stuff. We didn't really have a plan, really. It was just like, we're going to go up there
We're just gonna go for like
Yeah.
a
like,
week.
like 4 days,
Yeah.
and just see what happens. We're gonna 4-wheel a lot, and we'll see what else.
I
Yeah.
actually
Me and
turned
Dallas-
17. It was during fall break.
Yeah, Dallas and I, at least I'm pretty sure. Yeah, both of us hadn't really been to Idaho very much at
No,
all.
that was my first time.
That was my second time going to Idaho, and the first time I went to Fruitland, which is basically Oregon. So my
Barely
experience
Idaho.
with that part of Idaho was little to none.
Mm.
So I had no idea what to expect going into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say when you're talking about like between California and Idaho,
I was like, man,
I thought like California would have been really fun, but I think like Idaho is definitely like I was like, oh, more unique. Like when are we gonna be able to go to Idaho again?
yeah, I've gone to California
like
double
many
digits
times.
amounts of times
Yeah.
in my life.
So I
It's
think
the
when you
exact
brought that
opposite
up,
for me. Like you guys
Yeah.
have never been to Idaho. I'm like, I barely ever go to California.
Yeah.
Because I have so much family in California.
Yeah.
And it's closer, and we just go there all the time.
I'm
But
more a Utah boy. I go up to Utah a
I
lot,
never go to Utah.
and I don't visit very many other places.
I
but-
drive through Utah to go to Idaho.
These are some of
so.
the tangents we mentioned at the beginning, by the way.
Don't expect us to stay on task. This is our podcast. We
Yeah,
do what
this
we
is
want.
for us.
This isn't about you.
All right, get back to the Idaho.
Oh gosh. Okay. But oh yeah. Wow. Where do I start? That was rough. Okay.
Start
So
over.
we got like 6 4-wheelers. Because what ended up happening is my dad and Tyler's dad also came.
Yeah, we decided we needed help because
Yeah.
Like we would have been fine, but
it
like
would have been
not
fine,
as
but it would have
fine.
been wouldn't have been as fun. It was a senior trip, so it was kind of like I kind of wanted. We kind of needed like an adult there to make sure that we did everything we wanted to do.
It all went smoother.
And it was with Carter's like family, and so like his dad like knew it was there.
He was the
his
tour
like,
guide.
Yeah, so it's like so yeah, we got quads for us three, our two dads, and then
my uncle.
and
Mhm.
Carter's uncle.
Yeah.
Cool guy, by the way.
Very cool guy.
Yeah, very cool.
What was really cool is so we did all of our English. We did all of our four-wheeling in Mackey, and while we were up there, the first night it snowed. Like none of us were prepared, and none of us had like snow anything.
Yeah.
No, especially me.
Yeah,
I was very unprepared.
but it was super cool because like us being from Arizona, like we don't get exposure to snow that often.
No,
Yeah.
never.
What is this white
Much
substance
less-
falling from the sky?
Why is it so cold and wet?
Much less four-wheeling in snow.
Yeah, that was so fun.
And there's this really cool like mining hill that
Yeah.
we went around, and it has
Oh,
like
it was so
ruins of
cool.
old mines. And
Yeah.
it's super cool. We went up there on four-wheelers and we did all that stuff. And like just every night we'd come back and we'd just do something different. And like I just enjoyed it.
There was one night we did a fire almost every night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did a fire every night. We were at the
River
house
house.
in Mackey, the River House,
Yeah.
and we'd just chill by the fire and talk one night, or we played card games in a table like on the porch next to the fire in the river while it was snowing one night. Super cold, freezing, but
we gotta wear our sweatshirts.
So fun.
But it was
Yeah, that was-
so cool.
yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a very cool trip.
Yeah, I will say, because when you guys were talking about, like, you brought your dads, and, like, I met a lot of your family, Carter.
Mm-hmm.
I was already, like, I already knew your families, obviously, because we'd hung out, like, many times before then.
Yeah.
But I think that trip was definitely when I got a lot closer to your families.
Yeah, because you knew our families on a surface level, but like,
Actually, like living with them.
Yeah.
Kind of.
because
Yeah.
like with Carter and I, it was basically normal life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I didn't really realize until after that was probably like weird at first for you, or like at least somewhat like
No.
daunting at first. Like, oh, I'm gonna.
Got thrown headfirst into my dad's side of the family.
Yeah. I mean,
Which is
maybe a little bit, but
Exciting.
I mean,
It's exciting.
I definitely,
in a word.
yeah, I definitely felt like very welcome though, and I never was like nervous
Yeah.
or like I don't know. I was always happy with it. I thought it was cool, and especially when we were like all sitting around the fire and would like exchange stories and stuff like that.
There's lots of
Definitely-
stories exchanged.
Yeah, definitely one of the more memorable moments I thought.
Mhm.
But
Every time I go back to Mackey with my family, I'm like, dang, I
It's
miss
not
the
the same.
boys.
not the same.
not
It's
the same.
so not the same.
Yeah.
And my mom always gets mad. She's like, Tyler and Dallas aren't here. Get over it. I'm like, why?
Fine,
But-
I guess.
Just crying on the inside.
Yeah.
And there was one night, because and when we were at the River House, we all slept in the living room, and everybody else got the bedrooms,
Yeah.
which was customary because they were all the old people and we were the young people, so our backs could withstand the living room.
Yeah.
But there was one night where we were in the living room trying to sleep. Well, not trying to sleep, but working on it at some point. And we decided, you know what? It's time to make a group chat with the three boys. We already had one with the four, but for the Idaho trip, it required one with us three for like the pictures and just stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that was when the Idaho Boys group chat was formed.
It lives
Aw,
on today.
yeah.
It
And the
lives
Triforce
strong.
was
This is
great.
what
Yeah.
we use.
Yep, it still stands strong. It's Idaho Boys with 2 potato emojis on the sides.
Yeah. It's classic.
Never to be forgotten.
Yeah.
That trip might, I think, at least now, is my favorite trip that I've ever gone on. Probably.
I can
There's
say
I
the
think
same
mine as
hands
well.
down.
I've done a lot more like extravagant, expensive, like crazy trips with like my family and stuff, with like a ton of people or whatever.
Hmm.
But that trip was just like I don't think I'll ever do anything like that again. Probably ever. So that's definitely, if there were to be one highlight, that would probably be the highlight.
I think, yeah, I would agree.
So I think one other thing worth mentioning is the amount of times that we have spent just sitting, whether in a room, in a pool, or just on a curbside, or on longboards.
Yeah, longboarding stuff, yeah.
Or doing whatever it was. And I feel like
Ping pong.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was all three of us or two of us or whatever it may be on a Discord call or whatever, the amount of times that we have spent over the past 4 years just talking about life and how weird it is,
Yeah.
and what the frick we're doing with our lives, and just our fears and expectations and,
Life changes.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think is one of the things that I will call back to more than anything else. Because we spent a lot of time just at Dallas' house or in my room or whatever, just
Yeah.
playing video games.
Yeah.
And just, having, like, banter with that and just, like, being,
Yeah,
like,
talking and, yeah.
dudes being guys. But I think one thing that is special and different is that we've spent a lot of time having very, like, serious, in-depth conversations about very, like, important
Just
things.
a lot of different things.
Like,
Yeah.
for example, there was probably a few months ago.
Yeah, it's been a little while now.
Probably in May.
It was still really.
It was hot.
May?
It was hot.
really
So it was,
hot.
like,
yeah.
in the summer.
I love how
It
we
was in
tell
June.
time
It was in
by
I
the
think it was
temperature.
June.
It was in June.
Yeah.
Dallas and his family went to a resort in Scottsdale, and for one of the days, Dallas wanted me and Carter to come, and me and Carter wanted to come just for a day, just to hang out, because we were bored. Dallas was bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing better to do.
Yeah.
And whatever, just said screw it. And we went, and it was hot outside. I wanted to die. And we were just kind of chilling, doing nothing. They had a pool there. And so the plan was to just go to the pool and swim in the pool,
Mm-hmm.
which is what we did. And then later that night, the pool opened back up, and we went back, and we just got to the pool.
We didn't even swim.
No, we didn't.
We were there for
It was a while.
close to 2 hours,
Yeah.
I think. I checked my
Yeah.
phone, and it had been close to 2 hours.
Yeah, it was.
We got to the pool fully intending to swim, and I sat down on the step because I was tired, and
Yeah, we just sat on the side in the pool.
Dallas sat down next to me, and Carter sat down next to Dallas, and we just sat on those steps with our shirts on and our knees wet, and just talked.
We just talked
about life for 2 hours. Just about so many different things.
Yeah.
And those instances are the instances that I think are the most important thing that I've gathered out of the Idaho boys.
I would agree. Definitely a lot of those times are times I look back on like the most fond, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would consider like my closest friends the people that I can like talk to the most.
Mhm.
Like, I don't feel like there's anything that I like wouldn't just talk. Like we've talked about like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember one time, I forgot what we were doing, but we had like gotten food or something, and we went back to Dallas's. And after we ate, we just sat on the couch and we're just talking about like college and just like our future. Obviously, not knowing
I
that-
remember that actually.
Yeah,
I did
having
as
no
well.
clue that quarantine was gonna happen or anything.
It was
That was the night that we made the plan for me and Tyler to room at Bearview, Idaho,
Yeah.
and then for us
I remember that.
to all go on our missions and then come back, and all the boys go back to Idaho to room.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully one day that comes to pass.
Or at
Yeah.
least
Or, I
some
mean,
form of
yeah,
it.
some of it's coming to pass tomorrow, next week. But I'm talking about for me specifically.
Yeah.
I want to be there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's surreal to think that as one chapter closes, another one opens.
Yeah. It is really weird to think about.
And it happens a lot of times throughout life, but for us, this is the first
this
time.
is like the biggest
the
major
big one
change.
and the first one.
Yeah, and it's been hard because
It's not easy.
for 18 years of our life we've been hanging out with the same friends and going to high school or just school,
Living with
and
our
we
parents.
living with the
Yeah.
parents and the families. Sometimes we at some point we went to work, but it's I feel like it's always been a constant, something we could rely on.
I feel like for us specifically, for everyone this applies, but I don't know. I just think for us particularly, our friends are who we are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because while obviously we've spent a lot of time with our families, we spent
Lot of time.
a lot of time together as friends.
Yeah.
Not just us three, but with our other friends too.
Yeah. And saying goodbye to them has been really hard, but
It's difficult to
Close that
expect.
chapter.
yeah. I
to
think
accept.
I've always been told that change is good, but that doesn't mean it's not difficult.
The future is always better than the past, but the past is hard to let go of.
Yeah.
But hopefully, so this podcast, this episode, and this whole thing is just our attempt to hold on to our past just a little bit longer. And hopefully it can help anyone who listens to try and think about what they cherish of their past the most,
Yeah.
whether it be your friends or your family or whatever is important to you.
There's this one quote I really like about nostalgia. And basically it says the things that we're nostalgic for are all of like the good memories that we had in life.
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to go out and make them.
Yeah.
And I think that we did a pretty good job of that. Like there are a lot of like the
There's
times
a lot
that we
of dead space, a lot
Yeah.
of dead time that we spent together, but
Yeah, but even then it was still enjoyable and like
it was still time well spent.
yeah, I would agree. I think I've like definitely from like our relationship, us being a group and like our friends in school and everything, it's definitely had like a really big impact and like made me who I am today.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm thankful to call you guys my best friends, and I can't picture it being anyone else.
Yeah.
Just the time we spent together, I'll never forget it, and you guys helped me to be a better person, and I hope I do the same. But I'm thankful that we've had this time together, and when you guys go off, that I'll be watching, I'll be following along, asking how you're doing, and I'm thankful that you guys are my best friends.
Me
I
too,
don't
brother.
think I could put it better.
Yeah.
Well, life moves on.
Yeah. Life is good.
Life
It's a
is
world
good.
out there.
It's a world out there.
And we're about to, me and Dallas are about to figure out
What the
world out there
heck
is
we're
all
doing.
about.
Yeah.
Might die.
What? Oh yeah, probably.
Well, shoot.
Wait,
Eventually, not
this is
that
what I
soon.
signed up for.
Wait a second. But thanks for listening. I was gonna say watching, but
Not yet.
not yet. Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed
appreciate you.
listening. Yeah, we appreciate everyone that takes the time to listen to these. It really means a lot to us. So
This is for the purpose to entertain, but more so for the purpose for ourselves, but also in my mind, because I'm the type of person that likes to think about stuff a lot and analyze things, and I think it's a good way to, think about what you're thinking about, and so hopefully this can help anyone listening to analyze their experiences in life just a little bit more.
yeah,
And I'm grateful for the ones that we've had together. So, we'll talk at you whenever we talk at you next time. I don't know when that'll be. I
Yeah,
don't think
we'll-
any of us do.
We'll figure it out at some point.
It'll happen again.
Yeah. This
Won't
isn't
be
the
like
last
this isn't
one.
the end,
just
but-
the last one for a while, I think.
It's just to see you later, except hear you later.
Yeah.
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 Well,
All right.
Yeah,
Talk at
well-
you next time.
Bye.